throat center. A throat center. This throat center is blocked when there is a non-alignment between the imagination, expectation you carry about others and the others' expectation about you. Listen. Listen. When there is a non-alignment between your expectation about others and others' expectation about you, that is where the jealousy and comparison starts. Listen. You may have a superficial jealousy, superficial comparison, very superficial, like while you are driving in a Mercedes-Benz, if a BMW passes by, a superficial comparison. But those things does not affect you. The root jealousy, the root comparison which affects you is the non-alignment of your expectation and the other person's expectation. How many of you have in your life the non-alignment between your expectation towards them and their expectation towards you? Both of them are not in alignment. Then you have a problem in throat center. Anyakara is what you believe and project others to be for you as per your understanding. Listen. These are all like a legal definition. Anyakara is what you believe and project others to be for you. In this example, what I expect you for me and how I tell that to you. Clear? For example, now I am expecting Bhagavan to build a temple in Dallas, so I am expressing it to him. This is my Anyakara. He expects me should always honor all the words I utter and fulfill them. That is his Anyakara for about me. Clear? But now there is a non-alignment where I am fulfilling but he is not ready to fulfill. Clear? So his throat has a problem. Now, is there anybody who are not cognizing? But if he builds the temple and I don't honor this time keeping or what he expects from me, then I have a problem. I have to alter, transform and stretch. Clear? Here is a volunteer. Bhagavan. What that volunteer expects from me is Anyakara about me. What I expect from him is Anyakara, my Anyakara for him. Clear? If I fulfill his expectation and he does not fulfill my expectation, his Vishuddhi has a problem. If he fulfills my expectation and I don't fulfill, my Vishuddhi has a problem. Clear? So always be stretching, fulfilling everybody's Anyakara with whom your life is involved. Clear? Still anybody? Not clear? Come on, come to the mic.
If you complete that, you cannot fulfill his expectation, then...
yes, if you complete it, then no problem.
Then no problem.
No problem. Even then, you are not expressing your capacity. You are integrated, but not authentic. Understand? Now you will see. You will flourish in your business. You will flourish in your job. You will flourish in your relationships. In everything you will see, because you have decided not to give up on you. Understand? You have decided not to give up on you. Understand? You saw the live demonstration of somebody opening their Vishuddhi center. When he said he will not, his Vishuddhi was locked. The moment he decided he is going to do, his Vishuddhi opens. So I tell you, not giving upon you and others is the way to open the Vishuddhi. Don't give up on people. I demonstrated, I don't give up on him. I was very authentic with him. Even if he does not want to do, I did not force him. I just left it. But I am not going to give up on him. I am going to wait. I'll wait. And see to it, he realizes sometime. When I carry that cognition, I am going to wait. Immediately, he realizes. He realizes. So in all those moments, understand, my decision not to give up on you is the one which is pulling you up. That is the rope. That is the connection. Clear? Now, I'll repeat. My expectation about the other person is my anyakara about him. The other person's expectation about me is that person's anyakara about me. When there is a non-alignment between these two, Vishuddhi has a problem. Who fulfills it as flowered Vishuddhi, who does not fulfill as a collapsed throat center. Clear? In the Vedic tradition, you are expected to wear the 6th Rudraksha in your ears because the ears which listened is honored. It is called Sundaravadam. Arugatti Sundaravadam means if you have listened the spiritual truths, it has to be decorated with and beautified. All the communities which had the tradition of initiation used to wear that. Brahmins, Vaishyas, the communities which had the tradition of initiation used to wear that. How many of you have seen your great-grandfather's photograph and all he was wearing? Means your communities all have that tradition of initiation. Arugatti Sundaravadam, it's called. So now you are all initiated. All your ears, you can decorate it. With Rudraksha or whatever you want, you can decorate it with the Sundaravada because you heard, you listened. Listen now. Whenever there is, please listen. Even if you listen, this will become part of you. When you are not integrated and inauthentic, when you are non-integrated and inauthentic with the anyakara you carry about others, that reflects non-integrity and inauthenticity in the anyakara others carry about you. Got it? Let me repeat. Listen. Now, if Bhagavan is not ready to fulfill my anyakara about him, I am only responsible for that, not Bhagavan. Because there is some incompletion in my anyakara about him, there is a non-integrity and inauthenticity. So, I have to take the responsibility. Here, fortunately, the strength of my responsibility has helped him to jump out of the laziness and he committed. Now, this is the power of my authenticity. Clear? But Still I have few people who are not ready to fulfill my Anyakara. For that I am responsible. Understand what I am saying? Maybe somebody is not ready to fulfill my Anyakara about them. Then I am responsible for it. Then in that Anyakara, I am giving you the example. Actually I don't have any Anyakara which is not fulfilled. That is different. If I have, clear? I am responsible. When you take responsibility for others in authenticity also, you see a new energy flowing from your throat center. A real Shakti. Shakti means taking responsibility for all Ashakti. Taking responsibility for all powerlessness. Anybody feels powerless. If I take responsibility for them, then I am expressing Shakti. How many of you feel, why should I take responsibility for others? Authentically, raise your hand. There is a beautiful place for all you guys, graveyard. No, I am telling you the truth. Don't you understand? Life happens to you from others. Understand? Come on, the people who raised the hand. Now listen. Do you cognize life happens to you from others? The same team, raise the hand. Do you cognize? See, the team which said, why should I take the responsibility for others? Raise your hand. Now, if you cognize life happens to you from others, raise the other hand also. Do you cognize life happens to you from others? So how many have not raised both the hands? You. Please come to mic. You have, all you guys drop your hands. Now, ask your question. Don't you understand life happens to you from others? No. See, what all the main relationships fills your inner space and your day-to-day activity in your life? Mother. Father. Then? Your coach.
Yeah.
Then?
Friend, Swamiji.
Friend. Then maybe little place for me also. So, how many? 6?
6.
So, do you think without the decision of these 6 people, cooperation of these 6 people, you will be able to have fulfillment in your life?
Can't say Swamiji.
You can't. Your mother has to fulfill your son dimension. The dimension you carry as a son, it can be fulfilled only by your mother, only by your father.
But she has different expectations, Swamiji.
What I am saying, whether she has expectation or not, your fulfillment can come only if she is fulfilled as your mother. See, she has different expectation, we will work that next. Whether to complete with her or align her to your achievement or you will align to our expectation is secondary. But do you understand, cognize, unless she feels fulfilled, having you as her son, you will not fulfill having her as your mother.
I won't have that completion, Swamiji.
You understand?
Yes.
So life happens to you from others, outside. You get it?
Yes,
Yes. I am your master. So now, only when you feel I am a complete master, I will feel you are a complete disciple and I will be fulfilled in the dimension of being your master. Otherwise, I can be fulfilled in millions of my disciples. See, if I have 1 million disciples, I may be fulfilled as a guru for all those 9,99,999 people, but not with you means I am unfulfilled, still I have to sit. Listen, you understand? So life happens to us outside. So we can't afford to say, why should I take the responsibility for others' expectation about me? Or you can say, done. I am going to the caves in the Himalayas and I am not going to come out of the cave. But even then, who will give you food? If you just eat some fruits and tree leaves which falls from there and leaves, then you can think, even then you have to fulfill the anyakara of the tree. You have to pour water to it. All of you are getting it? So life enriches you, completes you, fulfills you in outside with others. You can't afford to say, why should I take the responsibility for others' anyakara about me? Clear? Listen. So now, when you take responsibility, even for others' inauthenticity, for example, I fulfill whatever Bhagavan expects. Even if he does not fulfill what I expect, I only take the responsibility even for he not fulfilling what I expect. This is the successful, a leader's attitude. This is the leader's mind, fulfilling others' anyakara about you, taking responsibility even if that person does not fulfill your anyakara about him, is leader's mind. This is billionaire's brain. I read a book, Millionaire's Mind. I give you the new book, new word, billionaire's brain. Understand? Or I can even add one more word. Trillionaire's trident. Zillionaire's zeal. I can add any number of words. This is the trillionaire's trident and zillionaire's zeal. Clear? Yes.
Yeah, the question, Swami. When you talk about leadership, there is also the component of the collective consciousness of people. No.
Collective consciousness is nothing but your consciousness is whether collected or not.
Okay.
You think I had a collective consciousness when I started the Sangha? Barren land where bears walk is very easily, and snake, this is the elephant route actually. See, there's a small stream, do you guys see, in front of the Chitsabha?
Right.
Which flows, this is elephant route actually, from Banirghata to the Bandipur forest. This is the elephant route. And still near this railway track, there's an elephant burial, samadhi, elephant buried. Because when the elephants crash, they get hit by the train and die. After I came, there's an elephant buried just near the railway track. Any of you have seen that? There's a small samadhi built near the underbridge. Near the underbridge, and a small stone will be installed, on which I wanted to install a Ganesha, but we could not do because that has become a railway land. We are not able to install. So, forest. 3,000 snakes were here because the snake farm was happening here. When they vacated, they did not take all the 3,000. 800 has escaped.
Wow.
When I came to this land, they gave me this information. In the 3,000, Swamiji, we are not able to vacate. 800 escaped. You are going to live with them. They had a venom park here. They used to extract venom, snake farm here. And when they donated this land to us, they vacated. When they vacated, something has happened. 800 escaped. They are all in this land. That is the way I was given this land. And 32 bore wells have been dug in this land, no water. 32 bore well. no water. When this landowner, previous owner donated this land to me, this is all the information he gave. Only you can walk and come in. You can't come by bicycle. Sitting here, I am declaring this will become an international organization, the place where the enlightenment science is taught to the world. Village boy who don't know English, who can speak only his mother tongue.
Right.
Did I have collective consciousness? My consciousness was collected. That's all.
Right.
Nothing else is responsible for anything other than you. Your pure will.
Okay.
Please understand, I am talking a practical science. Listen. I am giving you the essence. Whenever there is an inauthenticity in Anyakara, you end constantly comparing yourself and your life with others. You end up with jealousy, hurt, anger, suffering. Then you are caught in comparison and jealousy. Jealousy is outcome of deep innate violence you carry. Listen. I am putting it in a better way. Please understand, when somebody expects something from you, when their image about you demands your expansion, you are not interested in expansion. The violence you have, you show towards them as jealousy, saying, you expect this from me? Come on, now I will expect this much from you. You prove. Getting it? Cognizing it? How many of you are cognizing it? Jealousy starts to justify, listen, jealousy starts to justify you not fulfilling others' image, or, listen, jealousy starts to justify you not fulfilling others' image. Understanding? See, I will not fulfill what he wants from me because he does not fulfill what I want from him. And I will expand what I want from him before even thinking whether he is going to fulfill or not. If he has 10 million, I will put it as 100 million I want from him. Then go there and say, see, he is not fulfilling my 100 million, so I am not going to fulfill what he wants from me. Getting it? Cognizing it? Jealousy starts as the justification. Clear? Then it becomes a violence to declare your supremacy. Let me tell you. Cognize. Listen. First, hey, you have 10 million. If I ask 10 million, you may give. No. I'll ask 100. So you can't. So now, because you are not fulfilling, I can justify why I am not fulfilling. Why I am not expanding me to you. Because you are not expanding you to me. As a justification, jealousy starts. Then you have justified to many people that why you are jealous. Why you are jealous. Why you are jealous. You are justified to many people. And many people have fallen with your argument. And they say, all right, you are right, you are right, you are right. Then the jealousy doesn't keep quiet. It declares, now I am the supreme. Listen. For example, I say, hey, give me 100 million. You are not giving. So now, I am also not going to fulfill your image about me. Then this fellow, yes, he says, yes, yes, right. He falls. Then second fellow comes. For him also, I am not going to expand to you because you are not expanding to me. Justification. He falls. So one by one, when people start falling, suddenly you declare, hey, I am the most supreme. How many of you are cognizing it? Do you see in your life, in some areas, you have declared supremacy? At least one area you have to declare supremacy to keep yourself alive. If you don't declare supremacy, even in one place, you cannot tolerate you. How many of you are cognizing me? Clear? Where you declared supremacy is the root jealousy suffering pattern with which you are struggling. Listen, look in and verify at least 2 situations that happened in your life where you experienced jealousy and used it as a justification mechanism. Means, he is not fulfilling, why should I fulfill? I am justified. Some way. And look in and identify, write down how this jealousy became a defending mechanism, defending you from your own inauthenticity. When you are not coming for morning yoga, you say everyone is not coming, then what is the wrong? Nothing wrong. I also don't need to come. This is the level of the human awareness. I tell you, even the collective consciousness theory is nothing but your justification of jealousy, saying that everybody is like that only. I was also like that. And the third, look in and identify and write down how your defending mechanism protected your inauthenticity and how you declared supremacy of your inauthenticity.